Okay, we're going to work on 8.2, dealing with our complex fractions. So before we get into our complex fractions, I wanted to do the perimeter problem on the back of your notes. Remember, for perimeter, the formula for that is adding up all the sides, or since two of the sides are the same, you can do 2 times the base plus 2 times the height, which will make it just a little shorter when you're having to add those up. So the base here is 4 over x plus 1. So I have 2 times 4 over x plus 1. And 2 times the height, which is 3 over x minus 2. So remember, when we are multiplying, we do not need common denominators. We just multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So these two get multiplied together to become 8 over x plus 1. And these two get multiplied together to become 6 over x minus 2. First step in finding a common denominator is for us to factor everything, which that has already been done for us. So we are just simply looking for our LCD at this point. LCD, this one has exactly 1 x plus 1. This one has 1 x minus 2. So my LCD is x plus 1 times x minus 2. Now we need to figure out what's missing from each of these. This one has an x plus 1 from the LCD, but the LCD has an x minus 2 that's not included. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by x minus 2. Over here, it has the x minus 2, but it does not have the x plus 1. Now I can work through distributing the 8 to the x minus 2 on top and the 6 to the x plus 1 on top for the other, leaving me with 8 minus 16. And then over here I have 6x plus 6, all over that same LCD that we had before. X plus 1, x minus 2. Now we're looking for common terms to be able to combine. So I have 8x plus 6x gives me 14x. Negative 16 plus 6 gives me negative 10. All over x plus 1, x minus 2. Can I take something out of the top? I can take a 2 out of the top. And that leaves me with 7x minus 5 over x plus 1, x minus 2. And there's nothing that can cancel here. So that's my final answer. Moving on to the complex fractions. We learned when we were multiplying and dividing that a complex fraction, our first step should be to rewrite it as a division problem. So we have 4 plus 2 over x divided by 3 minus 2 over x. Before I move any further, I need to find a common denominator for the top and a common denominator for the bottom. Since both of these have whole numbers, their denominators are just 1. And that would make my common denominator x for the top. This needs an x in order to become common. So I have 4x plus 2. And for my bottom part of the fraction, I need an x on top and bottom. So this becomes 3x minus 2. Now, remember when we are dividing fractions, we keep the first one the same. The second one flips. And we are multiplying. So when you multiply, it becomes one giant fraction, and we can look for common factors. Remember, anything that's multiplied together is a factor. So this x on the bottom, x on the top are able to cancel. And my final answer is just 4x plus 2, 3x minus 2 on the bottom. Take a look at B. First step, rewrite it as a division problem. 3 over x, 2 over y, divided by 1 plus 4 over y. This time, the common denominator, they each have something to give. The LCD would be 1x and 1y. This one already has the x, so it needs the y to be common. This one already has the y, so it needs the x to be common. So I have 3y plus 2x. And for the next one, the whole number has a denominator of 1, so the LCD is just the y. This needs the y to become common. So I have y plus 4. Remember, when dividing fractions, the first one remains the same. The second one flips and we multiply. So I have a y on top and a y on the bottom. Those get to cancel out. And it leaves me with 3y plus 2x on top. And on the bottom, I have x times y plus 4. Last problem for 8.2. I'm going to rewrite it with division. So with division here, I've got to first get my common denominators so I can take care of the addition and subtraction. So this one, the common denominator would be A and B. This one already has a B, so it needs an A on top and bottom. This one already has an A, so it needs a B on top and bottom. So I have 2A plus 5B. Over here, the common denominator is also AB. This already has an A, so it needs a B on top and bottom. It already has a B, it needs an A on top and bottom. So I have 3B minus 8A. In order to divide, we have to keep the first one the same. Flip the second fraction. And we are multiplying. The A on top and the A on the bottom cancel. The B on top and the B on bottom cancel. Leaving me with 2A plus 5B on top, 3B minus 8A on the bottom.